Hi my dear students, welcome once again. Today we will discuss chapter 2, paper 4 mechanics, motion under gravity. In the past paper, sometimes a separate question is set from this topic with varying marks. We will see the questions of past paper as well. Now, you know that when a particle is thrown upward or when it is dropped from a height, if the air resistance is neglected, no air resistance means ignorable, very small value of air resistance exists, then we ignore it. The particle moves under the action of its weight. Weight, acts vertically downward towards the center of earth. Now again the particle moves with constant acceleration in a straight line. It's one-dimensional motion. So equation of motions will be applied again over here. Now you know that weight is equal to mg, where m is mass of the particle. Now g is, what is g? It is acceleration due to gravity. Its approximate value is 10 meter per second square. This is approximate value. So it's also mentioned in the instructions of past papers that the value of G is to be taken 10 if otherwise stated or mentioned. So in maximum cases we will use the value of G to be 10, and this value is experimentally found. Now we have upward motion. Now when a particle is thrown vertically upward, we have to give some velocity, or we can say that we have to give it some kinetic energy. So we have to give some initial velocity. It moves with that velocity. When it moves, the weight acts downward, so it slows down. The particle slows down when it moves upwards, and at some point it comes to rest and then takes turn. Now for upward motion, you have to keep 3 points in mind. Number one, initial velocity, say u, is not equal to 0. Second, the value of acceleration we will take, we have special notation for this acceleration g, but we also write a. So it is minus 10 meter per second square. And thirdly, at the highest point, when the particle reaches the highest point, its velocity becomes 0. For example, suppose it moves and this is the highest point. From here it takes turn. At this point its velocity is 0, but from the start, this is say ground, this initial velocity is not equal to 0. You have to keep these 3 points in mind while solving the examples and questions. Similarly, we have downward motion. We have to keep these points in your mind. For downward motion, now there is a difference between upward and downward motion. Firstly, Number one, initial velocity may, very important point, may or may not be 0. But when you will see that if it's stated that the ball is or particle is, stone is dropped or it is dropped from rest, then initial velocity is 0. But we may also throw some particle with some initial velocity downward. But if we throw it with some velocity and when it is out of our hand, when it is in the air, once it is in the air, then it is free falling body. Then it is moving only under the action of gravity. So we will apply in that situation also the equations of motion. So initial velocity may or may not be 0. In maximum cases it is 0. The second point we have to keep in mind is that the value of acceleration we will take 10 meter per second scale. And last point in this case is that when the particle strikes the, say this is ground, when it strikes the ground, at that moment its velocity is not equal to 0. Then we have very important point. We have to remember this point to solve questions. Number one, the time, same time. The particle takes same time in going up and coming down. Now when I threw it, the time it took from this point to maximum is same as in coming down. So the time is same. This is very important point. Second point is that velocities are same, speeds or velocities. Velocities are same, which means the velocity with which a particle is thrown upward, and it is moving freely, air resistance is negligible, it comes down with the same velocity. These two points are very important, we have to remember. Okay, let's start examples and let's see how to apply these concepts in the examples. Example number 1, please read it. A juggler throws a ball vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 6. So we have u equal to 6. Initial velocity is given. Now you have to remember that for upward motion, you will take acceleration to be minus 10. It's not mentioned in the question. You have to remember. Find the greatest height. So greatest height means S. We have to find it. And greatest height means V is equal to 0. So if this is a ball, this is starting point, it will move up to a maximum height where V will become 0. U is 6 and acceleration is minus 10. It is moving upward. So for upward motion, A is minus 10. Now we have to find the distance. So now you will apply the equation of motion. S is equal to V square minus U square over 2A. Putting the values, now V is 0, U is 6 square divided by 2 into A. The value of A is 10. The answer is 1.8 meter. Now see example 2. Read it please. Again a ball is thrown vertically upward, reaches a maximum height of 22. So you are given the distance up to highest point. Again it's upward motion. I have told you that you will take acceleration to be minus 10 because weight acts downward, particles moving upward, and find the initial velocity. Now initial velocity u we have to find, and the final velocity of course at the highest point will be 0. It's free fall, it reaches the maximum height, becomes at rest, then comes down. At the highest point the distance is given. Again you are now applying the same equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. You will put the values, simply you put the values from here, you will get the value of v to be 21.0 meter per second. Okay, example 3. Please read it. A stone is thrown upwards. Again we have upward motion. Reaches maximum height means this is the distance up to highest point. So where v is 0. That's why I am taking v 0. Now upward motion a is minus 10. You have to find t. Now there is another equation of motion s is equal to vt minus half a t square. Putting the values in this equation, you solve it yourself just to save time. You will get the answer 2.65 seconds. Okay, example 4. Again read it. Now you will see a new situation in this example. A stone is thrown vertically upward with initial velocity. So u is given 20 meter per second. Find the velocity and the height of the stone after 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds we have to find the distance. In this question we are not being told that what is the time to reach maximum height, whether it is 3 seconds or it's less than 3. First we have to verify it, that after 3 seconds whether it will be moving upward or downward. So this is the new situation. Now if v is equal to 0 means at the highest points, so this is a particle, so this is the highest point where v is 0. So if I take v is equal to 0 and initial velocity from here it is 20, then I want to find time. If v is equal to 0, u is already 20, so upward motion a is minus 10. I want to find what's the time for highest point. So now applying v is equal to u plus at. So putting the values v 20 minus 10 into t, you get t is equal to 2 seconds. So it means that the particle will reach the highest point in 2 seconds. Time is equal to 2, and we are asked to find the distance, velocity and height after 3 seconds. So what does this mean? No, it means that if say this is the starting point, the particle is here when t is equal to 2 seconds. So it comes from here, it comes back. So it will be somewhere here at time is equal to 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds it will be coming down. So now as it takes 2 seconds in going to highest point, so it will again take 2 seconds in coming down. So 1 second is gone, 1 second is left. Now come to the question. Find the velocity and height of the stone after 3 seconds. Now you need velocity. Now for downward motion, here u is equal to 0. So u is equal to 0 and time is equal to, from here to here, this time is 1 second. And it's downward motion, so acceleration is 10. And you have to find v. Now applying the equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. So here v, you have to find u is 0 and a is 1, 10, t is 1. So v is equal to 10. So our answer is 10 meter per second. But again we have an important point. In the question you are not asked to find the speed, we are asked to find the velocity. You know that velocity is speed in a particular direction, it has direction. So we have to write about the direction. You will write downward. And if the speed is asked, there is no need to write this. It's because velocity, so you have to write this downward. Then you are asked to find the next value, you are asked to find the height of the stone after 3 seconds. Now height means this height. Height means from the point from where it was thrown. So this height, you need this height. Now for this you have initial velocity, u is equal to, now this final velocity over here will become initial velocity for the journey from this point to this point. This point to this point. For this part, u is equal to, now this is 10 and time is equal to 1 second. Because I have told you that if it takes 2 seconds from going to highest point, it takes same time. So 1 second is gone, so 1 second is left. So we know the time, we have to find s, acceleration is 10. Now applying the formula, s is equal to ut plus half a into t square 1. And we will find the answer is 15 meter. So this distance from this point to this point will be 15 meter. Okay, next example 5. Now we will consider the downward motion. Read the question. Ball is dropped from a rest. A ball is dropped from rest. So initial velocity will be 0 at a height of 10 meters above the ground. So distance is 10 meter, acceleration is 10. Find the velocity of the ball just before it hits the ground. We have to find velocity. Now simple situation, you know that v square u square is equal to 2as. You put in the values yourself, you will get the value of v to be 114.1 meter per second. Value will be 14.1 meter per second. Then we have question number, example 6. Please read it again. A ball is thrown downwards with an initial velocity of 3.5 meter per second. So here it was we were being told that the ball is dropped from rest. So initial velocity was 0, but here it is dropped with an initial velocity of 3.5. So we may throw somebody from height to the downward. Hits the ground when its velocity is, so final velocity is given 17.5. So acceleration will be 10. Find from what height was the ball thrown. So you have to find s equal to what? Again you will apply the formula, s is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. Now you put in values and you will get the answer. It's 14.7 meter. This is the answer. Then we have next question. It's question number 7. Read the question please. A ball is thrown upwards with an initial velocity. Ball is thrown upward with an initial velocity of 12. Now from a point 2.5 meters above the ground. Now suppose this is ground level. So it is thrown somewhere here, which is 2.5 meters. This height is 2.5 meters. This is ground level. The particle is not thrown from ground level at a height of from 2.5 meters from the ground level, meters above the ground. Find the time when the ball reaches the ground. Now it will go up, of course it will move and it will go to a maximum point and then it will come back to the ground. So the question is that find the time when the ball reaches the ground. So we have to find the total time from this to this plus the time from highest point to the ground. We have to find this total time and velocity of the ball at this instant. So when it will hit the ground, we have to find the velocity also. We have to find the two things. Now we consider upward motion. Now for upward motion, a ball is thrown upward with initial velocity of 12. So you are given u is equal to 12 meter per second. Now it is thrown, it moves freely under gravity and upward motion. So you have acceleration is equal to minus 10. And this is the highest point. Here v is 0. So you will find v equal to 0. So from this data we can find this time only from here to here for upward motion. Applying the equation of motion, very simple, v is equal to u plus at. Now v is 0, u is 12, a is minus 10 into t. From here you will get t is equal to 1.2 seconds. This is not our final answer. This is the time from this to this point. Now we can find also the distance, because for downward motion, to find time, to find the velocity, we will need this total distance. So this distance is not required, but we need it for the next part. So again, s is equal to, for this upward motion, s is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. So from here you can find what is v, it's 0, u is 10 meter, this is 12, sorry, initial velocity is 12. So minus 12 plus 12 square, 2 into a, upward motion, a is minus 10. From here you simplify it, you will get 7.2. So downward motion. Now we will have downward motion. For downward motion, now at the highest point it becomes to rest, because we have thrown it from this point to this point upward. So at highest point it will become at rest. So u is equal to 0 for downward motion, a is equal to 10. Now distance will be, please, 7.2. This distance is 7.2 from here to here, this distance. So you will add this 7.2 and plus 2.5. This will be 9.7. Distance will be 9.7. Now we need time and velocity. So what is the time and what is the velocity? So now for time you have s is equal to, if you apply the formula, s is equal to ut plus half at square. What is s? S is 9.7, u is 0, and we have half, a is 10, and into t square. From here, using calculator, you can find the value of time to be 1.3928. Sorry, 1.3928. So the time, total time. So what will be total time? So total time is equal to 1.3928 plus 1.2. Now we add these, you will get 2.59 up to 3 significant figures. So this is your answer, this is your total time. Now we have to find the final velocity. Now again, for this part you have v square is equal to u square plus 2as. You need v. Put the value of u is 0, a is 10, and distance, total distance we have already found is 9.7. Taking square root, you will get the value of v to be 13.9. You can check yourself with calculator. Thank you. Next, question number 8. Please read the question. This is the cliff. And this is the bottom of the cliff. This is the bottom. We are standing here. We have thrown some particle from here in upward. So for upward motion, now upward motion, what is the initial velocity? It's given to be 15. From here it is projected with 15 meter per second. For upward motion, so we have this data, u is equal to 15, acceleration is minus 10. At the highest point, velocity will become 0. We need this time and the distance as well. Now we find time. So v is equal to u plus 80. So v is 0, u is 15 minus 10t. So time will be equal to 1.5 seconds. This is because we want to find the, now this distance, upward motion, this, how we will find this distance? So s is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. So what is v? V is 0, u is 15 square, and 2 into a is minus 10. From here, if you simplify it, you will get value of s to be 11.25. Now read the question again, that it lands at the bottom of the cliff after 5.4 seconds. From this point to highest point, and then it will come back, and this total time from starting point to the point when it reaches the bottom, this total time is 5.4. So downward motion. Now for downward motion, we have u is equal to 0, because when it reaches the highest point, velocity becomes 0. Acceleration is 10, and time, very important point, because the time we are given in the question is 5.4. So this time is from this to this and back. So we have found this time, we will subtract this time from this time. So for downward motion, we can get this time, which is equal to be 3.9 seconds. Now we have this data, we have to find distance. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Putting the values, this is 0, this is half, 10, what is t? It is 3.9 square. Using calculator and simplifying it, you will find this value 76.05. Now see that this total distance, this total height is 76.05, and we are asked to find the height of the cliff, means this distance is total. We have to find the height of the cliff, so we have to subtract this distance from this total, we'll get the height of the cliff. So height of cliff is equal to this total height 76.05 minus that distance we have found already, which is 11.25, and the answer will be 64.8 meter. Okay, next question, question number 9. Read the question. Stone is released from rest. We have initial velocity is equal to 0. It's downward motion. Acceleration will be 10. Falls under gravity. Air resistance is negligible. Find the speed of the stone after 2 seconds. This is first part. Time is equal to 2 seconds, and we have to find v. This is the data. Now we have to choose an equation of motion which suits to it, which is v is equal to u plus 80. Put in the values, v is equal to 0 plus 10 into 2, and you have v is equal to 20 meter per second. So it was very simple part. In the second part, time taken for the stone to fall a distance of 45 meters from its initial position. Again we have u is equal to 0, a is equal to 10. Now we are given distance which is 45 meter, and you are asked to find the time. Again we have to think on the equations of motion which we have to select. So on this we can apply s is equal to ut plus half at square. Putting the values, you have 45, this is equal to 0, this is half, this is 10, and this is t square. So using calculator, if you find the value from here, you will get 3 seconds. This is the answer to second part. Then we have third part. Distance fallen by the stone from the instant when its speed is 30 to the instant speed is 40. So when it is coming down, at some point it will be moving with 30, and at some point it will be moving with 40 meter per second downwards. So now we are considering these two positions. So for the third part, we want to find the distance fallen. We want to find this distance. So we have initial velocity now 30, final velocity 40, acceleration is 10. You need s. Now applying the equation of motion, s is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. Putting the values, v square minus u square divided by 2 into 10. On simplifying, you will get the answer 35 meter. Okay, question number 10. A particle P is projected vertically upwards from a point O. This point is O. With initial velocity of 8 meter per second square. Per second. This is the initial velocity. Read the question. The point A is the highest point reached by P. Suppose this is the highest point. This point is A. So this is the highest point, means here V will be 0. Speed of P when it is at the midpoint of OA. Say this is the midpoint. So we have to find the speed of this particle at midpoint. You are given this is first part, initial velocity. You know for upward motion, acceleration due to gravity, also denoted by g, is 10 meter per second square. Now we have only two quantities. Here you have to think that we need three quantities in all equations of motion, and we can find the other two quantities. You know, total 5 quantities are always involved. Now we are asked to find the speed at this point. We don't know time, we don't know this distance. So we have to find one of these two quantities, time or distance. We can find the distance, but firstly we find total distance. S is equal to distance at highest point, where V is equal to 0. So we can find the total distance. Now applying the equation of motion, S is equal to V square minus U square over 2 into A. From here we can find the total distance using calculator. S will be 3.2 meter. So for this distance is from this to this point. So what will be this half distance? Half distance. So 1 by 2 of S is equal to, if you divide this 3.2 divided by 2, you will get 1.6 meter. So we have found this distance from initial position O to midpoint, and we were asked to find the speed. Now we have again U is equal to 8, acceleration is minus 10, and we need V, and now we have distance for this midpoint up to midpoint, it is 1.6. Now applying the equation of motion, you know which equation you will apply. V square is equal to u square plus 2s. Now put the values from here, you will get the value of V to be 5 point up to 3 significant figures. Now next part, second part, you are asked to find the time taken for P to reach the midpoint of wave while moving upwards. We need time for same distance. Again you will use this, you can use all these values. So using these values, but because we can also use V or S, because we know V and also we know S. So we can make use of one of these two, and the equation which involves T. So we can use V is equal to U plus AT. You can also use S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Now you can use V is 5.66 and U is 8 and A is minus 10 and into T. Now if you find the time from here, you will get 0.34 second. This is the answer to second part. Okay, next question 11. This is past paper question and needs more deep thinking. Read the question. A particle is released from rest at a point H above the horizontal ground. This is the point capital H. From here a particle is released. The particle passes through a point 35 meter above the ground, means it is at somewhere here, and this distance from the ground, this is 35 meter up to this point, not this distance. Again I am repeating, the particle passes through a point 35 meter above the ground level. This is ground level. We are considering this ground level. But at this point its speed is V minus 10. This is the speed in which an unknown value capital V is involved, and also reaches the ground with a speed of V. So when it strikes the ground at this point, this velocity is capital V. Again this is unknown, but this V and this V are same. So we have to think now which two positions we have to consider. Keep in mind always we have two positions, we need two positions to apply equation of motion. Now see that we can consider the motion from this to this point, we can consider from this to this point, we can consider from this to this point. But we have to think that whether our problem will be solved or not. Now only this data is given. Now first part, you are asked to find V. You can say this point is A, say this point is B. So from A to B, for A to B motion, if we consider these two positions, you have initial velocity, its downward motion, acceleration is 10. We have final velocity, we have distance. Why I have taken these two positions? Because I will make use of given informations in which we were given that this distance is 35. I want to make use of it. So this is very important. Now applying the equation of motion, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Here algebra is also important. The final velocity is V, initial velocity is this, which is V minus 10 whole square, and this is equal to 2 into 10 and into this is 35. Now algebra is important. You have to take care. Here V square 2AB plus V square, and this is equal to 700. Now if you open the bracket, this will be cancelled out and you will have 20v minus 100 equal to 700. So 20v is equal to 800 and v is equal to 40 meter per second. So this was very important part of this question. Second part is easier. Now you have to find this total distance, total height is given to be capital H. You have to find it. So this total height is capital H. To find this, now second part, for second part we have initial velocity from the start 0, we have final velocity 40, we have acceleration is equal to 10, and we need distance which is named in the question capital H. So again S is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. Applying the same equation of motion, from here you will find the value of S. Putting the values, you will get S is equal to 80, or this will be, of course, you can check it, v square is 40 square minus 0 divided by 2 into 10. Now this is equal to 40 into 40 divided by 2 into 10. This will be equal to 10 cancels, 2 2s are 4, it is 80 meter. Okay, next question. A different question involving the motion of two particles. This is again time and velocity time graph for two particles. These are parallel lines, and we have at this is 4 seconds. After 4 seconds, and this is the time 2 seconds, this is P, this is Q. You are given these graphs. Now read the question. Two particles P and Q move vertically under gravity. This graph shows the upward velocity v. This is very important point. Upward velocity v of the particles at time t seconds for 0 to 4. So the motion is observed from time 0 to 4 seconds. P starts with velocity v. Now see this graph, understand it. The velocity of P at time 0 is not 0, it has some velocity, say v, and then its velocity decreases, and here its velocity becomes 0, and then its velocity becomes negative. That's why graph is going down. Now for Q, the initial velocity is 0, and then its velocity is decreasing, means negative, but it is speeding up. The magnitude of the velocity is increasing but is negative. What does this mean? Now let us discuss. We discuss it. The question asks first part. So Q starts from rest. Yes, Q starts from rest, but P doesn't start from rest. And it's vertical motion. So now I explain briefly to you what is happening. Actually, initial velocity of P is positive. So upward direction is taken as positive. So this is the particle P. So particle P is moving upward because its velocity is positive. What happens at 2 seconds? When time is 2 seconds, it reaches highest point, takes turn and comes back. This is the equation of, this is the motion of P. No, but for Q, the Q actually starts with initial velocity. It means Q is moving downward. I have told you in the start of this chapter that when a particle is projected upward, initial velocity is never 0. We have to give some velocity. So initial velocity 0 means it is moving downwards, dropped from some height, from rest. So Q is moving down and P is moving up. So upward direction is taken as positive. So velocity in the upward direction is positive and in the downward direction will be negative. This is very important point. So P is moving upward and the particle Q is moving downward. This is the motion of Q. So Q starts from rest. Its velocity is 0. Also when Q is coming down, when the particle is coming down, its velocity increases. Its velocity increases because it's moving in the direction in which the earth is attracting it. Weight acts vertically downward. But when a particle moves upwards, its velocity decreases obviously. So it is moving with decreasing velocity, but this direction is in the graph given to be positive because velocity of p, initial velocity of p, say v, is positive. And it is coming down, it means p is moving upward, velocity is decreasing, it's slowing down and it's decelerating. So at highest points velocity becomes 0 and then it comes back down. So this is the description of this diagram. Now the p starts with velocity capital V. This velocity with which p starts is capital V. So our first part is that we have to find this v, which means its initial velocity. This is basically initial velocity is capital V and final velocity is 0 and acceleration is now minus 10 for p. Now we have to find this. We know initial velocity, we know the acceleration. Now you need time. From the graph for p, see, only focus on the motion of p. See that at time 2 seconds, p comes to rest. This is very important point. From the graph, so from the graph, time is 2 seconds at the highest point. So now we have three quantities, t, a and v. So we can apply the equation of motion. V is equal to u plus at. Now v, final velocity, we need it, u is, final velocity is 0, initial velocity we need, acceleration is minus 10 into time is 2. From here you will get value of v to be 20 meter per second. Now in the second part, given that q reaches the horizontal ground when t is equal to 4. Because when it is coming down, we don't know at what time it reaches the ground. We are told that because when it comes down, it speeds up, velocity increases. At time 4 seconds, it strikes the ground. It is given in the question, otherwise we don't know about it. So in the second part, for q, no, this is for q. So initial velocity of q is 0 and time is 4 seconds, acceleration is minus 10. We know all three quantities. We can find any value, we can find the final velocity and we can find the distance also, but we are asked to find the speed with which q reaches the ground. Speed means direction is ignored, just you need the magnitude of velocity because speed is scalar quantity. So we have to find v. Again applying the equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at, put in the values, v, this is 0, a is minus 10 and into t is, time t is 4. So the value of v is minus 40. Now why we are getting minus? Because the downward direction is taken as negative. From the graph I have told you. So your answer will not be this in the right because you need speed. No, this is a velocity, not speed. So this is the answer to this part. This is very important point. Then we have last part. I am doing over here. We have third part. In the third part, height of q above the ground when t is equal to 0. So you can find the area of this triangle as well. We can find the area, you know the velocity over here. So also you can find this by equation of motion. So area is half into, this is 4 into this height we have found is 40. So this answer is 80 meter. Question number 13. Read the question. A particle P is projected vertically upward with speed 24. So it is projected upward with a speed of 24 meter per second. From a point 5 meter above ground level. So this will not be ground level. It means this is the ground, say this is the ground level. This is the ground level. So this distance is 5 meter. So this particle is projected not from ground levels, at some point higher than ground level, which is 5 meter above. It's being told in the question. Now find the time. That's it. You are given only that projected with 24 upward and from the ground at 5 meter above. Only two informations are given, and you are asked to find time taken by this particle in reaching to highest point and then taking from here, taking turn and coming back to this ground level. So we need time for this whole journey, moving from this to this point and then coming back. So what we will do, we will divide this into two parts. Firstly, we will find this time. Then we will find the time for downward motion and we will add them. So we consider only upward motion. During the upward motion, initial velocity we are given 24. You know, acceleration will be -10, and at highest point here the velocity will be 0. We have the data. We can easily find the time. So applying the equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. V is 0, u is 24 minus 10t. From here you can find the time to be 2.4 seconds. This is not our answer. Now for downward motion. Now for downward motion, see that when it comes down, then its initial velocity will become 0. Initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is plus 10. We know only two quantities. How can we find the time? We need a third quantity. How can we find the third quantity, which is distance? So we don't know velocity over here. Now to find third quantity means to find this time we need a third quantity. For that I find this distance, because I can find it. So distance during upward motion, I find this distance, add 5 to it, so we will get the total distance. So in this way then we can find the time. So during upward motion, S is equal to, now we know that we can write the data, because again we need u is equal to 24, acceleration is -10, v is equal to 0. We need S. So S is equal to, again applying v square minus u square over 2a, we will get v square 0 minus 24 square whole over 2 into a, which is -10. From here you will get this distance to be, we find this distance, it will be 28.8 meter. Now the total distance will be equal to that distance 5 plus 28.8. This will be 33.8. So for downward motion, now we can find time easily because we have found the total distance. So for downward motion, we have S is equal to ut plus half at square. S is 33.8, u is 0 and half a is 10 into t square. Using calculator from here, we will find the time to be 2.6. So total time will be equal to that time 2.4 second going up plus this time in coming down. So this is equal to 5 seconds. This is the answer to this part. Okay, last question, 14, very important in asked in past paper. See, this graph is given in the question. So read the statement. The velocity time graph shown models the motion of a parachutist falling vertically. There are 4 stages in the motion. So let us see what are the 4 stages. When parachutist jumps out of plane, then when parachute is not opened, it is moving with acceleration due to gravity g under its weight. Air resistance is negligible in the first stage. Now when it moves with acceleration 10, then up to some time which is given in the graph 5 seconds. So from 0 to 5 seconds it is coming down, but graph is given in the question. It means that the downward direction is taken to be positive. So the velocity is increasing. So velocity increases from 0 to 50. This is velocity time graph. The red graph shows the actual path. The actual graph, not the path. Now up to this point its velocity becomes 50. Then what happens? Then parachute opens at this stage. When the parachute opens, because of the surface area of parachute is large, so now air resistance is not negligible. So it will resist the motion of parachutist and it will slow down. So what happens? After 5 seconds, with speed 50, it slows down. Parachute opens, it slows down. This is the second stage. So in the second stage, it moves with deceleration, it slows down because air resistance is greater than the weight. Then in the third stage, this is the third stage. Velocity time graph is horizontal, means velocity remains constant. So in the third stage, after 12 seconds, the velocity remains 8, so it moves with the 8 velocity. Now coming to rest instantaneously on hitting the ground. So what happens at this time after 102 seconds? At this point it hits the ground and instantaneously it comes to rest. So this is the description of this diagram. Now come to the question. Part 1. Part 1 is that show that the total distance fallen by the parachutist. You know the property again. Area under velocity time graph is the distance. So area will be the distance. So distance is equal to total distance is equal to area under this graph. Now you can split the graph. Firstly, number 1, this triangle, then this is the trapezium, and then we have this rectangle. So I divide this area into 3 sections, 3 parts. So firstly we have this triangle. Just to understand this situation, or we have a lot of practice of it, I am directly writing the values. Half into base into height is 50 plus then area of this trapezium, this is the width, which is 7. So half into 7 into sum of parallel sides. This side is 50 plus 8. 50 plus 8. Then last plus this rectangle. Now see that from time 12 to 102, this time is basically 90. So 90 into 8. Now if you simplify this, you will get the answer 1048 meter. This is the answer to this part. Now come to last part, very interesting. Now modeling the parachutist as a particle, this is the second part. Say this is the parachutist, I am modeling it as a particle. It's in the This second stage, read the question. Find the upward force on the parachutist due to the parachute during the second stage. Now, upward force, which is say R, downward force is weight. Of course, in the second stage it slows down, which means that the upward force R is greater than W. So applying Newton's second law, net force is equal to Ma. Now see that M is a positive quantity. Now here if I net force, larger force is R, smaller force is weight. This is equal to, because you are subtracting larger value from smaller, so smaller from larger, so it is positive. So here you will write Ma. So putting the values, or you can write R is equal to W plus Ma. Now what is W? W is weight, and weight is given to be the 850. It's given in the question. Weight is 850, and then you know that you divide by 10, you will get mass, which is 85, into acceleration or deceleration. Now during this stage, what is the deceleration? From this diagram you can find it. This is the rise, which is 42. This is 42, and this is what? This is SAM. So acceleration is rise over one run, which is 42 over SAM. Now if you simplify this, you will get the answer to be 1360 Newton. Okay guys, we will have a second video on this chapter, in which we will see more harder and complicated questions involving two particle motion, which will be different from these. This video makes a basis for that second video, so you will see that. And this is the Newton's second law. We will use the laws of motion also, but in the next chapter, which will be forces and then friction and onwards. Here this question was because related to this topic, that's why I have done it. Thank you.